Hello, I'm Toycat, and recently I've been spending a lot of time in Las Vegas, and I intend to spend a lot more time in Las Vegas, so I should do the smart thing that everyone's always saying and buy a property. I mean, buy a house, buy a condo, buy an apartment, buy something to live in, and then you'll save a ton of money and you'll get rich, or whatever people say. However, and this video was just going to be me going through and going like, wow, isn't it interesting how much prices are in Las Vegas? Let's look at apartments together. And I think that's a fun part of this video I want to include too, but while looking into the process, it is blowing my mind the difference in property between the US experience and the British experience. I mean, I've joked around and called America land of the fee before. You think about it. If you want to buy food, you don't just have to know how much food costs. You need to do a maths equation and work out, well, tax isn't included and tip isn't included, and you've got to tip on the tax or you've got to pay tax on the tip. One of the two is going to be true. But, you know, there's all this craziness that's going down in the United States, but I didn't realize it applied to the home buying process too. Buying a house is so wildly different, and I wanted to show you just how interesting it is as a British person. One of the big culture shocks is just how different and how much, not harder, but more expensive it is to buy a house. And so to make this comparison, I'll be showing you Zillow, which is an American real estate website. We typed in Las Vegas, and I'll be showing you Zoopla, which is the British equivalent. They both start with Zs and like have a similar vibe to them. But yeah, for Zoopla, I'm going to be looking at the Las Vegas of the United Kingdom. We're going to find a house that costs, I don't know, £190,000. And for the Zoopla, we'll find a house that costs roughly that in dollars. There's one actually being recommended right here. But if we just scroll around and we set our price bracket to being, I don't know, like 250,000 at max, we'll find something that costs roughly that, right? Okay, so what are we seeing here? What is the equivalent of £195,000? We'll say $238,000. Is that true? I genuinely don't know. Oh, this one doesn't have all the information on it. The $215,000. We'll just pretend for now that lines up one to one. It doesn't. There's a lot more in 190. Actually, we can just find a different one here. 170. Let's just say that £170,000 equals exactly $215,000. So what does it cost to buy both of these houses? You might say, well, if we just pretend this is $215,000, they cost exactly the same, right? You pay the $215,000 or pounds, you convert it, and then you own the house afterwards. No, here is the fun thing that I've been looking into, because again, just for fun, been looking around, it's cool to see all the condos, all the things going on there. There's a lot of very interesting differences, and let's go through them one by one. First things first, something called a buyer's agent fee stuck out to me, because I watched some American real estate YouTuber before, and he explains how like, oh yeah, as a real estate agent, you get paid 2.5%, and I thought, oh, he's doing this thing where he's like pretending that's normal so he can rip his clients off for 2.5%. Who's paying 2.5% of a property's value? In the case of this, 2.5% would be 2,500 times 2 times it would be over $5,000 that they want in exchange, as well as the 250,000, but just as a nice courtesy because they showed you the house. Well, we found this house for you. You didn't use a website. No, Zillow doesn't exist. We found you the house, and so we want 2.5%. In the UK, in my mind, the number that you should be used to is 1%. It costs you 1% to sell a house. Maybe a little bit more in some cases, a little bit less. I sold my house for less than 1%, but like, that's the norm is meant to be 1%. But in the for $215,000, you'd expect to spend about $2,150 as the seller to sell the house, and the buyer doesn't pay anything because why would he, right? He's buying a house. We don't want to add expenses to him. But here's the crazy thing. I looked up buyer's agent fee because apparently you pay by the seller as well. So here's a fun one. When you buy a house, my realtor told me it's free to use their services. Is that true? No. There is a fee paid by the seller as well, and it's also about 2.5%. The overall commission can be 5 to 6%, depending on which agent you have, and that means that you can, on again, $215,000 house, you're paying $5,000, and so are they. Wait, what? And then if we can look at more expensive places, obviously, if we just remove this filter, this just scales up the whole way. You're looking at $1.5 million condos, I don't know, or 639,000. Guess what? 2% buyer's agent fee still. They want, what is 2% of? That's over 10 grand. That's over 12 grand. It's like almost $13,000 they would like in exchange for you buying a house for most of $1 million, which, it sounds reasonable as a percentage, but it's also like, okay, that's crazy. That's a big deal to get over. But here's the second thing that's different. When you buy a condo, apartment, or even house, so it's true everywhere where there's condos or apartments, but it's also true in Las Vegas for houses, everyone that I've looked at so far. Let's say I want to buy a house. This one is a house that costs $469,900. You pay something called a HOA fee. This is a group of people who can do any number of things. They could, run any communal services. In this case, they can keep, like a lawn managed or whatever else for you, and then you pay them a certain amount. And that HOA fee is genuinely, again, it sounds like, oh, wow, you can work out the conversions. This whole time, I've been doing rough maths, and I could just do that. This is apparently, according to Google, £385,000. So yeah, if you want to buy a £385,000 house in Blackpool, I'm not sure that one exists. I see one that costs 500k, so we'll just, 300, we'll just pretend this is exactly the same. Do you know what you pay every month for this house? I mean, assuming, after your mortgage, obviously, you don't pay anything. I'm pretty sure, at least. Also, it's on Shaftesbury Avenue. That's a fun name. They stole that from London. But do you see this? Do you see how there's no like, oh yeah, so you have to pay $60 a month to the end of time, or you lose this house? But in America, on a HOA fee, if you don't pay that fee, they can place a lien against your house. They can eventually, if you don't pay for long enough, they can take your house away from you to sell the house to pay for the fees. You would never let it get that bad for a $60 monthly HOA fee. On top of, by the way, a 3% buyer's agent fee. My God, it said 5 to 6%, but I thought they were exaggerating. Seriously, 3%. Anyway, my God, that's so painful. Anyway, if you're looking at condos though, and let's say you want somewhere, it's Las Vegas, you need a pool, right? You need to have, it's also Las Vegas, it's a scary place. You want to have some gating. So let's just look at a building that I was curious about. I was like, somewhere near the strip, all the fun tourist things, near the airport. Let's say you want both those things. And so I decided to, just for some fun here, oops, I've accidentally loaded up a place. This has 135 monthly HOA fee, and it has a pool. Actually, is that a pool, or is that like the neighbor's pool? I'm not sure. It doesn't have enough pictures of them. But yeah, you want to buy this place, which costs $239,000, by the way. That is, come on, you can do this for me. £196,000. So you want to buy this place that costs £196,000, which I'm sure we can find an equivalent for. Okay, so here it is. Here is my equivalent. A 25-bedroom terraced house. Can you really get the whole thing? There's no way you get oh my God. So what do you want? Do you want the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Las Vegas? Or do you want the 25 bedroom? There's going to be something horribly wrong here, right? It's going to require a lot of work. No, it's just a 25-bedroom former hotel guest house. That's pretty cool. I would love... Can you imagine having a 25-bedroom house? Like, what do you even do with it at that point? It's got so many entrances. It just feels weird. It's in bad condition, but I mean, like, it's not like this is in great condition, right? The bathroom's nice, but, is this what you'd call great condition? This is someone who took their own photos, by the way. You can tell. Like, who thinks this is a valid photo of their house? Okay, sorry. We're getting distracted. This is a townhouse. It's not so, again, townhouse. And in case you think it's unfair to compare Las Vegas to Blackpool, as we went through, or maybe I didn't, I've done a lot of versions of this video, Blackpool is the 28th biggest city in England, not even the UK, but in England, and Las Vegas is the 25th biggest city in the US. It's really interesting that it actually is a pretty fair comparison. They're both medium cities, they're not anywhere near the biggest, but they're not anywhere near the smallest either. And so yeah, therefore, this is the equivalent of what you get in Blackpool versus this. And also, if you buy this, you have to pay $135 a month to the end of time. Times that by 12, what is that? $1,500 every year. Plus, you have to pay a buyer's agent fee of 2.5%. What is that? Something like $6,000. Plus... we'll bring on the last plus later, because that's already pretty horrific, right? The fact that you're paying all that amount. But yeah, I want to show you some other weird things first, because Las Vegas has some weird things that you won't find anywhere else, well, you won't find commonly anywhere else in the world, but you do find here because it's such a tourist hotspot. So this is a hotel. It's called the Platinum. Do you want me to show on a map? I had a friend who stayed there once. So this is the Platinum Hotel over here. See, there we go. Platinum Hotel and Spa. So, yeah, this is the Platinum Hotel. As you can see, lovely hotel. It's got like an arco outside of it. Arco's known for cheap gas, so wow, you fuel up your car, you get a lovely balcony. What's not to love, right? And the answer is there's nothing not to love. However, something that isn't not to love is the fact that, yeah, buying a hotel room is a weird thing for this price, right? For $185,000. So actually, you know that now we're getting a lot more comparable. Oh no, it's even cheaper than the 25-bedroom hotel over in Blackpool. However, because it's a hotel room, you get a hotel room. It's like, oh, this is actually, never mind. This is like nice, right? It's like a suite. You got a separate bedroom and everything. I kind of like this, actually. You can probably use all the hotel facilities. However, you pay $650 a month just to $650 a month. That's just like paying for a really cheap hotel room on top of the expensive hotel room that you're buying up there. But here's the fun thing. It has like a little reference here to the fact that, oh yeah, you can take advantage of the Platinum Hotel rental program. So you can rent the hotel room back to the hotel. And so I looked into that because, you know me, I'm nothing if not curious. And so yeah, the idea of this, the Platinum rental program, is an opportunity to participate in renting it to the hotel. You can rent the room back to them. However, they split the revenue 50-50, and then also they still charge you a HOA fee. So you pay them a fee, then they, you know, splitting it 50-50 is already kind of questionable when you own the space. But, you know, maybe they're paying the bills. But then also you pay the bills to cover all those, you know, like expenses. And then also they charge you a 4% fee to deal with unit repairs. So actually it's not a 50-50, it's 46, and then also you pay the money on top of that. Also, you can only have 60 days a year, and you have to call and book it in advance. Imagine owning a hotel room, which you rent to the hotel 300 days a year, and you have to call them to get in advance if you want to book it. If you have to book your own house, you don't own it. If you have to book your own apartment, you don't own it. And so long story short, you can buy hotel rooms, and it's the weirdest investment you can make. Like, it's probably better than a timeshare. But seriously, some of these, look at this place, $199,000, $299,000 here. Look at this place. You can spend $300,000 on a place, and then you're paying $700 every month. $700 every month. You're paying $8,400 a year on top of the estimated, you know, $2,400 on your mortgage. It gets very crazy when you start thinking about places like this. That sure, they're nice and they have pools and they have all these great facilities, but you're just checking into a hotel for the rest of your life or until you can sell this place. And based on the fact that it says there's 12 plus units, 15 plus units, 33 units, oh, I feel so bad. There's 33 separate people desperately trying to sell their units because it's so expensive. Oh my gosh, look at that. They're never gonna sell, are they? I mean, that's sad. You know what? These are people trapped into, they bought a hotel room, a studio apartment, and they're paying $700 a month to keep it going. See, look, this is how you know. It was a guy taking a photo, made a poor financial decision, and now he's stuck with it. And that's crazy to me. Speaking of things that are crazy, should we look at actual prices yet? Or should I go through the final thing? Because let's say I finally did find a place I like. I've actually found a few. Because again, I want it to be like nearby the airport. Let's say I really like this place. This looks really good if you ask me. Look, the Chalet. Ooh, European. Ooh, look, it's got balconies with flowers on. It's got a pool and location. Minutes from Las Vegas Strip. You can walk to the airport from here. They've got big signs saying don't reverse in their drive-thru. But if you want to know a secret, I've reversed in their drive-thru. I'm an absolute monster. And that's why I know where this place is, by the way. No, I don't know where it is. Okay, it's near the airport. It's got to be on, like, this road here, I think. That's a Hyatt place. And so this is it. This is the Chalet. I don't see it, but if we zoom in a little bit, there it is. So as you can see, this is the Chalet Las Vegas. And it's got a sign saying no through street. But again, you know, in America, unless there's something stopping you, even if there's a sign saying not to do something, you can just do it anyway. And if you're in a car, no one cares, it seems. It's a very interesting set of rules we have over there. But yeah, $140 a month, only $125,000 up front. That's, you know, about £100,000, £102,000. You get a pool, you get, you know, they're not showing the insides very well. Are they going to show the insides? No. You know, this is all you need to know. It's probably nice on the inside. It's got a pool. The pool looks okay. It looks a little bit dirty. But, you know, who needs a clean pool? You clean yourself after you get out of the pool. And so, yeah, if you want to buy this lovely place, Seriously, by the way, all you gotta do to go to the airport, you drive down one road, or you walk down one road, then you get to this weird set of traffic lights, which for some reason Google Maps is always taking me down. And then once you get to the weird set of traffic lights, you go forwards one more, and then you're at the airport. This is the airport on the right here. And so if you want to walk to the terminal, you've got to go like, okay, a little bit further than that. You got to take a little right turn there, and then there you go. Do you see the terminal building? It's in front of you. Like that is it there. You know what? I've got to keep going now. I've got to prove my point. Anyway, so let's say I really want to buy this place, and I finally committed that, like, fine, I'll pay 2.5% of the proceeds to someone, and I'll also pay a monthly fee because I guess the pool costs money. Like, someone has to maintain that. I'd rather have a working pool than not pay $120 a month because, you know, when you're there, you want to enjoy your stuff. Oh, I've taken the wrong turn. You get the point though. This is that's the airport there. Okay, no, you're gonna keep going. It does take a while to do this on foot, and if it's as hot as it looks in this picture, is the sun really that big? You know, the sun is bigger in Nevada. I bet you didn't know that. Anyway, so this is the airport. You walk in and you're there. Oh no, that's the airport. You got to walk over that, and then you're at the airport, and you can go say hi to planes. It's cool. Anyway, speaking of things that are cool, so you're finally committed. But here's the other thing, right? It mentioned down here something about property taxes. In America, you pay property tax. I don't think there's a single state without property tax. If it is, it's going to be like Alaska. Is there a single state without property tax? That's a fun question, isn't it? Is there a state without property tax? There's no such thing as a state without property tax. That's because property taxes are used to. It's weird. There's no income tax and there's no sales tax in some states, but there's always property tax, which doesn't exist in the UK. We have something called council tax, and it probably works out about the same rate as council tax as a property tax on lower end properties, but it's not a percentage of the property. It's based on your house's 1991 value, and let's not talk about council tax. Anyway, so you have to pay property tax in America. In these guys' cases, it is $106 a month. This is for a cheap place. This is for, you know, the condominiums. If you wanted to buy, what's the nicest thing we can find? Do you want to buy this lovely little no bed, no bath place? Ooh, multifamily quadruplex. Oh, it's like multiple. I've always heard of duplexes and triplexes. They're not as big of a thing here. Like, why would you buy the whole unit? It's a weird thing. Anyway, so this is a single family residence. It's $500,000, so $500,000, and every single month you'll be paying $5,099. Every single year you pay $5,000. And again, because it's the government, if you don't pay them, they can take away your house to make you pay them. Long story short is there's a lot of, like, plus the home insurance, apparently it's a thing. There's no HOA fees on this one, which is pretty good. That's quite rare. And so yeah, although you have a pool access and a golf course, there's no way there's a pool that you're not paying money for. Oh no, it's got its own pool. Whoa. I've always wanted to have an empty pool like that. That's surreal. You know, maybe I'll buy this. I mean, I don't have $500,000. But maybe if we get like a GoFundMe going. Anyway, so ignoring the fact that it costs money because there's a thing called property tax, it's really lucky for me to be able to say that Nevada apparently has the lowest effective property tax, among the lowest in the nation. Wow, 0.590% of their assessed home value. Compared to the national average of 1.1%. But here's the other crazy thing. Even if you go through all of those steps, let's say I wanted to buy this $500,000 house, because I don't have $500,000, but like I could probably get like 10% of that and then get a mortgage on the rest. How much does a mortgage cost in America? If we ignore this big triangle, the lowest rate mortgage you can buy in Las Vegas, Nevada right now, if we buy in the next 1 day, 23 hours, is 4.125%. Or with an APR, an actual interest rate of 4.419%. But if you want to get that super cheap deal, you have to pay $14,000 up front. What do you mean $14,000 up front? What do you mean points one? Okay, so you pay fees to a lender in exchange for a reduced interest rate. A point is equal to 1% of the that's insanity. You can't. You pay 4% interest rate, which is like, think about that. Freddie, think about that for a minute. 4% interest rate every single year. Plus you pay $14,000 for the privilege of paying someone 4% every year. Okay. You know, maybe if you go to purchase, it's lower. It's got to be lower for purchase, right? No, it's higher. It's high. 4.2. And there's higher upfront costs. I thought I made a mistake. You know, I know the zip code for Paradise, which is where I'm actually looking, is 89169. Let's see. Let's see what we get when we change it. Maybe it goes down. Nope. Okay, only $13,000 up front now. Ooh, exciting. That's for a 15-year mortgage. Let's say I want to go 5 years. Honestly, I want the lowest rate mortgage, and I'm willing to go crazy for it. And there's no such thing. Okay, so yeah, you pay an insane amount of money. You pay $208,000 over 8 years. What does that even? So this is the amount it costs in. Oh, maybe my credit score needs to be higher. No, this is with the highest credit score. Oh my god. I have no idea how it happens. Like I know there's more banks in America, so maybe they're small, lower capitalized, so they can do fewer mortgages and so they can charge more. But the average rate in the UK, I had to confirm because I thought I was going crazy, is 1.2 to 1.5%. My current mortgage is 1.9% because I didn't go with any of these banks. But still, you're paying a 1.24% interest rate if you live in Northern Ireland, or if you live in Newcastle, 1.5%. But you're paying just under 2%. We'll say 2. Or 1.89, because there's a lot of banks doing that. You're paying 1.89%, and then setup fees, you sometimes will pay up to $1,500. In the case of this one right here, it's $9.95. This one here, it's £0. But let's just say $1,000 is the average. So in America, you pay $14,000 up front, and you pay a 4% interest rate versus 1.8% with a £1,000 setup fee. Also, when you sell the house, when you buy the house, you pay 2.5% and the buyer pays 2.5%, meaning 5% of the property purchase of the home, up to 6%, just goes to the person selling it. That's why real estate agents are so rich over there, it seems. And then also, just by the way, to compare that, in the UK, I decided to confirm. Like, was I going crazy? And because I paid less than 1% of my house. I thought that was the average. According to this, the average is 1.18%, and then it also says you should be suspicious of estate agents charging less than 1%. There's usually a reason they're so cheap. But it worked. I sold my house. I haven't sold it yet. Maybe that's why they're so cheap. Maybe they can't actually follow this up. But still, in a short amount of time, I should have sold my house for less than 1%. But if I want to do the same in Nevada, it's going to cost me 5 to 6%. 5 to 6% of a house's value just destroyed by real estate agents. The honest real estate agents. And then also you're paying such insane finance costs. Like seriously, the difference between 4% and 2% might seem like it's 2%. Like, that's not such a big deal, Toy Cat. No, let's do the compound interest math. So let's say you're paying 1.89% on a $400,000 mortgage, because let's say you can put up $100,000 of your own right to buy this lovely place that has a pool, or has the remnants of a pool. You can probably fill that up. That's probably no big deal. So you wanna also it's air conditioned. Also it's 8,276 square feet. That is 8 times bigger than my house that I'm living in right now. And they bought it for $135,000. They bought it for $278,000. It's not too bad. Okay, let's look at the house. Let's get a vibe for what the floor plan is. Can you not see that? How can you just say this is 8,000 square feet? I mean, it's big, but is it that big? Is it that many dollars big? Maybe it is, honestly. Anyway, so I get sidetracked all the time. I could spend all day just looking at weird houses. Isn't it interesting how many big things people own something worth $1 million almost. People own things worth more than $1 million. Look at this. This is a $1.4 million. Look how nice this is. Look how fancy this all is. Oh. Anyway, so one of the things that I figured I should point out is compound interest, right? So over a 30-year mortgage with $400,000, because you're buying that, it will cost you $600. So the total value is $704,000. If you pay that over the course of 30 years in equal monthly installments, I guess you should technically add no, you don't add a deposit. Then it'll cost you $700,000. There's a $300,000 interest that is being earned on that, or lost, because the bank is, the bank is putting their money in a saving account, and their saving account is your house. But if you pay I'm going to make sure I get this right, 4.250%, which is, it's only double as much, so it wouldn't be too much higher, right? 4.250%. Then what is it going to be like? I don't know, 800, 900,000. maybe close to $1.4 million. There's $1 million in interest. The interest goes from being a fraction of it to being 2.5 times. Because you know what happens with interest? Interest accrues interest. The interest that you accrued on your interest accrues interest, and it stacks all the way through until you're paying literally double as much. And so actually, I think, you know, when you look at houses in America outside of whatever this is, you know, this is expensive. When you look at a house, it can be tempting to see it as cheap. If you go to a cheap area, like, what does a house cost in, like, I don't know, Camden, New Jersey, right? Probably expensive. It's too close to New York. It's probably still going to be surprisingly pricey. But you look at a house, you're like, wow, it's only $150,000. But, like, actually paying $150,000 there might be more expensive than paying £225,000 here, because we have cheaper financing, we have cheaper buying and selling costs, we have cheaper ownership costs, we don't have a property tax, we just have council tax. And so I think that's why, even though it's scarier to see a number like that starts with a 2 than one that starts with a 1, I think in reality the total costs of buying something are really well hidden from you in America, because America is land of the fee. Yeah, wait, has someone come up with that meme already? Land of the fee. Someone must have. Land of the fee traces the system of fees from its origins in the deregulatory wave of the 1970s. The average consumer now pays a dizzying array of charges for mortgage costs. Whoa, it's related to what I was saying. Whoa. Ah, there's a whole book. Ah, don't watch this video. Read this book instead. Why did I accept cookies? Also, please don't dox me of my postal address there. Anyway, with that said, land of the fee is what you gotta call this place. What's the cheapest place in all of America? You'd figure it'd be like Wyoming, like no one wants to live in Rock Springs, Wyoming, right? But then you're gonna find out that like, this is more expensive than Vegas. Oh wow, $55,000 was that. Oh heck yeah, I'm excited about that. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, look at this. You can live in this house. Forced air gas, what does that mean? It doesn't have AC though. I don't know if you want to be living in a place with no AC. But still, you know, it needs a lot of work, including electrical updating and foundation repairs. Large living room in front. You know, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it eye-opening, or maybe you didn't. Maybe honestly, it's 27 minutes. You probably didn't watch it. So if you made it to the end now, how much do you think Anchorage, Alaska is cheap or expensive? Because who wants to live in Alaska? On the other hand, if you're living in Alaska, you kind of have to be living there, so you just pay whatever it costs, right? Oh, it's more expensive to live in Anchorage, Alaska than Las Vegas, Nevada. By like a substantial amount too. Actually, you know, there are cheap places. You know, this is interesting, right? This is very interesting. Should we go to New York now? New York, New York. Please say, yeah, there we go. Let's go to Manhattan, New York. I mean, what can it cost for a place there? I mean, it can't be too much, right? I think Manhattan is famous for low real estate prices. So if we come in with $950,000, we should get a nice place, right? Yep, this seems like a reasonable purchase for $1 million for me. Oh, this is 525 finally. Oh, there's lots of unit listings in here. Isn't that crazy? This is something I'm really jealous of. Like, we don't have this in the UK, like being able to see multiple units listed in the same apartment like this. $1.4 million for this lovely 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Ooh, isn't this nice? Ooh, do you like this bar? Oh, they've got a sauna too. Okay, you know, I've decided I like this place. It's got a possible 2nd bedroom or den. It's got like an imaginary line because they haven't made it yet. But where did they build the sauna? Is this just in their building? I genuinely don't understand. This is okay, this is their gym. This isn't their like personal space. This is their... Oh, it opens... The kitchen shuts away. I love that. Yeah, look, you can decorate your bedroom in 2 different ways. Or are these just different bedrooms? I'm genuinely not sure. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? Why? Is this... What is happening with this place? I love this. Oh, yeah, this is surreal. I would love to just see the same apartment, but, like, decorated different ways. Non-stop. Do you want it with a sofa there, or do you not? You can pick. Anyway, yeah, this video is too long. Sorry for making it. Goodbye. Wait, give me money. I need like $1.39 million more than I have. Look, this is a bargain. This should be costing 1.6 mil, but you can get it for just 1.4 if you call them up right now and pay their... Oh, it doesn't even say the agent fees, does it? if you just pay the fees, which are unknown, you can live in a 100% walk score, walker's paradise, transit rider's paradise. You know, isn't it hilarious? Okay, you know, this is one of those cruel realities. All the places with the best public transport are some of the most expensive, right? If you want to live somewhere with this great, like, publicly paid for utility, you better live in a multi-million-dollar Soho apartment. And isn't that beautiful? Isn't it nice? Isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Let's go for social commentary next video. Okay, third channel. Don't care. Goodbye.